the change has to come from us, right? So we can't really wait for others to make some changes that'll help us progress in the right direction. So you are the change. You bring that change, and we will see good results. And I strongly believe in that.
Great to have you, Nija, for a very, very important talk today. It's very close to my heart, and I know you have been a woman leader, and you have probably observed this very closely. And the topic is women empowerment. How has it evolved over all these years?
Thanks for having me, Sanjana. Yes, this is very close to my heart, and something that I also see every day in different aspects of my life. So, uh, this is a very near and dear to me, as I said, because woman empowerment, there are like different aspects to it, not just the financial freedom, is it the education aspect of it, but it comes in different forms. So maybe as part of today's discussion, we can just focus on certain aspects as to what it means and what my views are and how we should be handling it.
Yeah, yeah. And, I may have some follow-up questions as you just tell me about it, about your journey and what your observations were.
Yeah, growing up in India, I can tell you this is like definitely we're talking about 50 years ago, right? So, yes, I think there was a little disparity between like how uh, a boy, like a male child versus a female child, were treated. But fortunately, few of the educated families, we did not see that difference. And I'm one of those fortunate ones, to be honest, like growing up as a child,
Hmm.
where I was given all the opportunities, same as my sibling growing up, at least in my household. But as a child, I've always seen, like, when it came to my friends or families around, there was definitely a disparity between raising a male child versus a female. I could see that. Whether
Mhm.
it means education or providing other opportunities or, several aspects of it. So I think that's where it starts, I mean, typically. And then as the woman, like, gets into like education, and that's part of the reason, right? So not most of the women, like if you go back several years, I mean, probably most of them did not have the privilege to go to the good schools
Yeah.
and the education, unlike
Yeah.
how men are given opportunities. So that's, it's not that they're not capable, but it's
Yeah.
just the lack of opportunities is how I perceived. I mean, as I saw people around me.
Hmm. And then you said, you were lucky that you got all the education that, you wanted to, but not many women are that lucky, right? Because they cannot fight against this if there's a system in place that, oh, the guys in the house go to this level of college education, but you probably like, in a like in a family where they have differences, they'll be different, right, with the woman, right? So
Absolutely. Yeah.
yeah, and then that puts her in a disadvantage already, right? It's
Yes,
yeah.
absolutely. That's what I have noticed growing up as a child, as I said, right? So most of the educated families did not show that. But then most of the people around me, like whether it was my friends, like close friends, like, getting married at an early age, like where they did not pursue higher education. So that's
Yeah.
a big disadvantage because they're all like, very smart kids, right? But
Yeah.
it never really went anywhere. So,
Yeah.
that mentality has to change, and I'm pretty
Hmm.
sure things have evolved quite a bit in the last several years we are talking about, right?
Yeah.
So where women are at least well educated, equally or compared to men these days. So
Yeah.
that's a good sign. Things are progressing in the right direction.
Okay.
But as opposed to just blaming the system or how things are, I think maybe we should focus our energy on the positive side of things as
Hmm.
to what we as women should be doing, right?
Yeah.
It is our right to get some of, to have some of those, and
Yeah.
how do we achieve it? Maybe that would be a good topic for today's discussion.
Okay. All right. So yeah, as I see, even when women are educated, going to higher management, did you see that disparity still, or did you see that it was slowly it's reducing? What was your observation on that?
It's definitely better than when I started my career, for sure.
Mhm. Yeah.
But still, I see a small percentage of women in the executive leadership roles.
Mhm.
So I don't think that is between 10 to 15% of the total workforce that we are talking about that
Mhm.
gets into those roles, right?
Yeah.
Is it because women, we don't have qualified women, or is it because women are like they multitask several things, whether it
Yeah.
is raising a child or dealing with things on the home front? So is it because they don't really prefer to advance in their career? I think that's one aspect to look into, but
Mhm.
definitely the percentage that I see is still very, very far too low than what I would have expected.
It's pretty low, so 10 to 15% at higher level
Yeah,
management, right?
yeah,
So,
absolutely.
what
Yeah.
do you think, in your view, what can we do as, women? What is it that we can do to help this? Because everything, we obviously it's going to take its time, but we have to have the right mindset to change it also, right?
That is correct. So we need to have the right mindset to change the situation. And I think this is where women have, I mean, they have to like really speak up, right? Saying, hey, I need help, or what is their support system? Because obviously they're not like superhumans, right?
Yeah.
So if a person has to do raise a child, take care of things on the home front and job, it's actually already three tasks or three things,
Yeah.
right? So how do you balance everything and still achieve what you need to do on the work front? So definitely you need to have a good support system for a woman to be successful, whether it is getting help from the family or outside help. This is where I think women need to be, they need to be more vocal, get
Hmm.
the help they need to achieve their goals, right?
Okay.
Because typically what woman does is put everything aside and try to still do everything, right? So
Yeah.
most of the women that I know are like really superhumans, trying to achieve a lot more than any one individual or human can accomplish, honestly.
Accomplish. Yeah. So basically, do not hesitate to ask for help,
Yes,
right?
yes,
And it's okay if you can still, like, other people can also help with the family, or with the home, with everything. So be open about that I need help, so that I can
yes.
focus on my career or my education, right?
Absolutely. That's what I think needs to start off with. First off, a lot of people that I see around, they don't ask for help. They just silently assume it is their responsibility and do the work. So just speak up, voice your concerns, get the help, the support system in place, right support system in place, so you can focus on what your heart desires, whether it is the career side of things, or there are a lot of women entrepreneurs out there. So pursue your passion. That's what I would say.
Yeah. Okay. So do not be afraid to venture out to do different things where you can leave your family for some time, or someone else can manage the family or help with the family. It could be a grandmother or a grandfather, or like a mix of things at home, with like ours, like you can always hire help with some supervision and those kind of things, right?
Yes,
Yeah.
exactly. That's what I think needs to happen, and that's one side of it. And then getting up the executive management ladder, there's still like far, like fewer women, right, as
Yeah.
compared to the men out there. So again, is there something that need to change on the corporate side of the world, above and beyond, like the talent aspect of it, the gender equality or the women empowerment? So definitely, I think there is more. This is, I mean, what I'm talking about is I see this all the workplaces that I see, just the population in the executive management, far
Hmm.
less compared to what I would have expected as well.
Okay. Now, how can we address that now? Because that's something I think women need to support women to grow,
Yes.
right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That is something I think it'll take a while, is what I feel like, as opposed to like no matter, like I'm seeing positive trends as to where we do see the percentage slowly growing, but it's not where I would have expected it to be. So that really has to come, as we said, right? So there are some talented people who are probably not achieving those heights because of the personal family situation or other challenges. So hopefully, with the help, a lot more people will get there, and hopefully we have a larger talent pool, right? So
Yeah.
that's one thing definitely that's going to help.
Yeah.
And the second aspect that I'm talking about is even in the corporate side of the world, right? So, how do, I mean, I know we have the gender equality and all of that in place, but still the population, or the number of people that are really at that level are far fewer compared to men out there. So how do we really change that? I think that'll be a gradual change. I don't really expect like change something that'll happen right away, because every woman has to stand up for herself and really put her expertise out there
Yeah.
and try to get to that level. In other words, compete with men
Hmm.
with all the roles. Maybe some of it is they just don't bother applying as well. So
Yeah.
it's how woman like has to advance and apply for those positions, and or just get to it, is what I would say.
Yeah. So the desire to change the environment has to be there, which comes from within, right? And
It, yes.
yeah, and once that changes, that's kind of the root cause, right? When that the root cause has been addressed, then the next thing would be we're going to have a bigger pool. That what you're saying, right? Bigger pool of talented women out there who can probably get hired, because now the pool has become bigger. There's this and then there's also this interest that in applying for those high executive level jobs, right?
Yes, absolutely. So, yeah, as we just discussed, as the talent pool increases, definitely the chances of more women getting into those roles will also definitely increase. So that's one way to make progress, as I said, for
Yeah.
sure.
Hmm.
But this is not a problem that can be resolved, like so
Yeah.
it'll take time, but always there is a starting point, and this is how I would
Hmm.
start yeah, tackling this.
Tackling this. Okay. Yeah, it's gonna take. It has taken generations, so it's gonna take some time. Not generations anymore, I think, because everything. We don't want to make another another generation, definitely, but we definitely want to think in that direction. That the change has to be made. The evolution has to be done at a little faster level now. Otherwise, it will never change. Then, right?
Exactly. The
Hmm.
change has to come from you, right? So
Yeah.
you are the one, like, bringing that change.
Yeah.
And that's exactly what we're talking about in the session, because we can't wait for somebody or some event to trigger or some change to happen. So it has to start from you, for
From
sure.
you. Yeah. And then once you do it, once one person does it, there will be more people who gonna, you become a role model, and then they see you, and then you spread. You also, before we had little talk about it, you also talked about all these forums of women where they discuss these things and spread that information also, right? So it's good to have that
Exactly.
support
Yeah.
system, right?
Definitely, there is support system out there. Several groups that I'm part of, like, where there are these topics and there is that support system. And as we just discussed, it's not just the support system on the home front for women. There
Hmm.
are a lot of support systems out there, whether it is a mentor or a network of women, like, executive leaders.
Hmm.
So definitely, all those are definitely will be a great exposure to a lot of women who are really trying to get there and trying to get into those roles, actually.
Yeah.
So definitely there's a lot of support system out there within these networks that I'm talking about.
Hmm. And also education also, right? You also told me that you are pursuing your higher education. So that's also a good thing to try at different stages of your life, right?
Exactly. So yes, executive MBA is something that I always wanted to do, but things were so busy on the career front, never got a chance. And
Hmm.
I was just self-reflecting on myself recently, and I said, yeah, this is something that either I've always wanted to do, but either I do it now or never. So,
Hmm.
in fact, just applied for a couple of schools and got into UCLA and waitlisted at Haas. So, which
Hmm.
I think I should get into as well. So, definitely looking forward to pursue my executive MBA starting this fall.
Yeah.
So, yes, I think
That's
education is very
incredible.
important.
Yes. And it should not stop also, right? Keep on going
Yes.
with
Uh,
then you meet new people, you meet people who can give you more ideas, or, ways to kind of tackle and those kind of things also, right?
Exactly,
Yeah.
exactly. So definitely, and also a lot of it is networking as well.
Mhm.
One more aspect of the career thing that we were talking about, right? The executive leadership positions,
Yes.
and I do strongly believe that you make good contacts as part of whether it is executive MBA or like other higher studies. So a lot of good networking, people that you work with, you interact with, that always helps
Mhm.
you advance in your career as well.
Okay. Yeah, mentorship and all that, right? They can guide,
Exactly.
people can
Ex-
guide each other at that level, right?
Exactly. Exactly.
Okay.
Yes.
So those are a lot of great helpful tips, Nirja. I think it's very, very. Those are the tips you gave today. You said is getting a support system at home. Obviously, that is very important, and then obviously a support system even at work, which is you have a support system, so you have a people who respect your thoughts, your insights, right?
Yes.
That's important. And then also pursuing higher education if there's any opportunity for that. And then also, like, joining, the forums, and where you can get some more, again, better insights, how to tackle situations and those kind of things, right?
Yeah.
So, yeah.
And one thing that is very important, near and dear to me, is I always had a great mentor in my life, right? So who was always guiding me career wise and all of that. So I think every individual should find that mentor as to who it is that can work with them. That will also help uh,
Okay.
give, whether it is a mostly on the career front. Definitely that had been a big plus to me.
Okay. Okay. So do not be afraid to find help, right?
Exactly.
Oh,
Exactly.
any closing comments, Nirja, before we close our talk today? I know it's really good. I've learned a lot from you today, and so will the viewers do too. Any other last closing comments you have
No,
for
I
this?
think thanks for giving me this opportunity. And as I said, right, so we have to, the change has to come from us, right? So we can't really wait for others to make some changes that'll help us progress in the right direction. So you are the change. You bring that change, and we will see good results. And I strongly believe in that.
Okay. Okay. So be the change yourself that you want to see happening, right?
Exactly.
Okay. All right. Thank you, Nirja, for joining me today. It was great to talk to you. And I'm pretty sure these tips are going to be very, very helpful. And also, we wish you very, very a lot of good luck for your next project, right?
Yeah.
Which
Thank you,
is yeah,
Sanjana.
yeah. It's
Thanks for
going to be
having me.
yeah,
Great talking to you.
yeah. Thank you, Nirja. Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Bye bye.
Bye. Bye.
If you wanna talk about anything at all, then you know who to call. Just tell Sanjana. Tell Sanjana, tell Sanjana. Tell Sanjana, just tell Sanjana.